By Wagner. Wagner makes her way down the court, slows it down, pulls it back, and sets up the offense. Now she attacks, kicks it out. Swanek from the corner for three. No good. Rebound brought down by Salatoy. She'll take it up the court for Montana Tech. Give it off to Urick. Urick will run the point once again. Urick picked up by Hilborn at the top of the key. Gets it off to Rooney. Rooney on the wing. She drives. Pull-up jumper from the elbow. No good. Rebounded by Christine Denny. Christine Denny up the court now with the ball. She stops, kicks. Wagner on the wing with it now. Near side. Saints going right to left across your radio dial as it's Christine Denny. Looks to pass the top. Pass is tipped out to Swanek. Now to Hilborn. Out to Denny. 13 on the shot clock. Denny at the top of the key goes to Hilborn. Who takes the three. Got it! Camden Hilborn 4-3. And just
Tech.
Carroll lead. We'll have second quarter action coming to you when we get back here on Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com.
Here's Savannah.
Daniel Sal and Gary Turcotte here. Second quarter action between Carroll and Montana Tech as it's 24-14. The Saints lead the Ore Diggers as both teams take the floor for the second quarter. Inbounding the ball will be Christine Denny. Saints, of course, going right to left across your radio dial. A little delay as to a couple of kids from the crowd, including one of Coach Sayers' twin boys. They did a little contest to see who could put on the big shorts and jersey and shoes first and make a layup. Of course, not sure if it was Riker or Reddick, but one of them won, brought home the title today. So great news for Saints fans as always as Christine Denny drives, kicks it out. It's Hilborn from the wing. She drives, puts up a runner, no good. Zard gets the rebound, tries to save it, but her foot was on the line. Saints will keep the ball on the baseline with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Inbounding the ball is Hilborn. Hilborn inbounds to Denny. Denny loses it into the hands of Emma Madsen. Madsen out up top to Hilborn now. Hilborn, Madsen, Garrett, Denny, and Swanek 5 on the floor for the Saints. Inside it goes to Garrett's. Garrett's turnaround, and it's good. Maddie Garrett's turnaround from the block. She knocks it down. It's back to a 12-point lead for the Saints, 26-14. With it up the court is Molly Peoples. She gets the pass from Urich. She goes over to Rooney at the top. Now back to Peoples. Peoples thinks about the three. Instead, she drives, puts up a floater off the rim. No good. Madsen goes for the rebound. Garrett's goes for the rebound. It's tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Maddie Garrett's. The Ore Diggers will keep it. Inbounding the ball from the baseline will be Danny Urich. Urich, Rooney, Peoples, and Williams, as well as Azard, the 5 on the floor for Montana Tech. And Mesa Williams rather quiet tonight compared to what we're used to. She's got no points up to this point, so the Saints doing a good job keying in on her.
Yeah, and Carroll's switching up their defenses, zone and man, and it doesn't look to me like Tech is comfortable yet. Has figured out quite what the rhythm of that is.
Mesa Williams gets the inbounds pass. She drives from the top of the key, goes to Rooney. Rooney blocked by Denny. Denny's got it. Denny off to the races. She slows it down now. She gives it off to Hilborn. Hilborn will set up the offense for the Saints. Hilborn loses control, fumbles the ball a little bit, gets called for a travel. So a turnover on the Saints will give it back to Montana Tech. Inbounding the ball will be Rooney. She gives it off to Williams. That's Urich with it. That's those 32 and 22 looking awfully similar as Rooney gets to the top of the key. Now goes to Williams on the wing. Williams, far wing, gets by Hilborn. She looks inside, finds Rooney. Rooney thinks about it, pulls it back, gets it out to Peoples. Peoples for 3, no good. That one disrupted by Denny, saved by Rooney, and into the hands of Denny. Hilborn with it now in transition as the Saints drive, spin move off the glass, no good. Rebound, Maddie Garrett's. Now it's a loose ball on the ground. Garrett's looks to come up with it. She does. Gets it out to Madsen. Tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Rooney. The Saints will keep it, and now we can finally slow things down a little bit. Very up-tempo game.
Yeah, a lot of transition. The girls, both ends really, especially Carroll, really trying to get their running game going, and I think that probably was part of the game plan, what Coach Sayers wanted to see.
Hilborn to inbound from the far sideline. Substitution for the Saints as Danny Wagner checks in for Emma Madsen. Hilborn inbounds to Denny, back to Hilborn she goes. Camden Hilborn running point for the Saints. She goes to Wagner on the near wing. Danny Wagner with it, puts it on the ground, drives, kicks. Garrett's fumbles it, gets it back. 4 on the shot clock. Saints got to hurry. Denny off the screen from Garrett's for 3. Off the rim, no good. Rebound by Christine Denny. Good hustler. She gets her own board. It goes to Hilborn and now to Swanek. Swanek at the top of the key, calls the play, gives it off to Denny. Drives off the glass, no good. Rebound Rooney and a foul called on the Saints. I believe it'll be Maddie Garrett's second foul.
And Carroll just not getting as good as shots. This is when they kind of go into the slump. I mean, they're not getting good shots right now. They're not. I think they're taking some shots on the break that aren't good shots, and then when they get in their set offense, they're not as patient as they need to be. But this is the kind of slump. that they really need to avoid.
Toth checks in for Garretts as Montana Tech gets it back down the floor. 7.5 minutes left here in the first half. Mesa Williams on the wing. She's got it. She goes over to Rooney in the corner. Rooney back inside to Falatoy. Falatoy tries to take her drop step. Christine Denny's waiting to take the charge, and she does so successfully.
Well, that's great help side defense by Christine Denny. She came across from the weak side, took a nice charge. Big play.
Big play as the Saints get the ball back, and sometimes a defensive play like that can give the offense a little momentum. And the Saints lead by 12, 26-14, looking to find their groove again on the offensive end. 7:15 left in the half. It's Christine Denny at the top of the key, guarded by Rooney. She goes inside to Wagner. Wagner spin move, and it's good off the glass. Danny Wagner's shown that she can play a little post.
And she spun to her right with her right hand, and she's very left-handed, and people overplay her left hand.
28-14 as Falatoy gets it on the other end. Goes in from the block, puts it off the glass, knocks it down for two. Back to a 12-point Carroll lead, 28-16, with 6 minutes and 45 seconds left in the second quarter. Hilborn up the court quickly. She goes to Toth, now to Wagner at the top of the key. Wagner over to Swanek. Swanek comes off the pick. Slows it down, goes back to Danny Wagner. Wagner, step back, now to Toth. Toth thinks about it, instead goes to Hilborn. 10 on the shot clock. Hilborn for three. Off the rim, no good. Falatoy gets the rebound. Falatoy gets it over to Crawford. Crawford up the court. She goes. She goes to Rooney now at the top of the key. Tavia Rooney over to the wing with Mesa Williams. Williams guarded by Wagner. Hilborn, little help defense. He goes to Falatoy. Falatoy on top. Spin move. Goes up with it. No.
Oh, tough shot.
Good. I thought it was going to bounce out.
Falatoy has been a very effective this second quarter. She's made some tough shots.
28-18, the Saints lead after the bucket from Falatoy. Up the court, the Saints go. Christine Denny on the wing, makes her way to the middle. Now she drives, kicks. Swanek thinks about the three instead, puts it on the ground, goes back to Hilborn. Hilborn, top of the key. She goes back to Swanek. Sienna Swanek passes over to Hilborn. Now inside they go. Up with it is Toth. She gets her own rebound. Now it's brought down by Falatoy. A little fumbling of the ball, and Montana Tech gets it back. With it is Crawford up the court, running point. Crawford passes it over to the wing. With it on the wing now is Williams. She goes inside to Rooney. Rooney, turn around, no good. Rebound by Christine Denny, long rebound, and she's off to the races. Christine Denny into the key, off the glass. No, no good, but she'll draw the foul. Christine Denny will go to the line for two. Foul called on Haley Crawford as Christine Denny steps to the line. A couple of subs to check in as Zard will enter as well as Peoples and Jaden Lyman. And just a reminder as they get ready to shoot the free throws, and Salonen as well will check in. Carroll Basketball is brought to you in part by Placer Motors. Your Helena Subaru dealer is Placer Motors, family owned for over 75 years. Capital Collision Center, Montana State law says it's your vehicle and your choice where to have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center. Furniture Showroom. Why pay more? Every day is a great day to buy new home furnishings at Furniture Showroom. And Money Train Casino for the best happy hour and huge wins. All aboard the Money Train. Christine Denny makes her first, puts up her second, and that one's no good. So Christine Denny splits the pair from the charity stripe, and Montana Tech has it once again. Haley Crawford up the court. She goes to Peoples. Peoples with it on the wing. Now up to Rooney. Crawford once again. Crawford on the wing. Works her way to the middle. Goes to Zard. Zard looks for an entry pass. Instead goes to Peoples. Peoples looks for the three. Doesn't have it. Gives it back to Crawford. Crawford drives, and she travels. She pump fake. Couldn't keep that left foot down. Drags it along the line, and we'll have a travel and immediate timeout. So we'll step aside for 60 more seconds. 29-18, the Saints lead on the Capital Collision Center scoreboard here on Rewind 94.9.
Back here on Rewind 94.9, it's Daniel Sally and the Hall of Famer Gary Turcotte inside the Cochran Insurance broadcast booth here in the PE Center as the Saints lead 29-18 over Montana Tech, just under the 5-minute mark here in the second quarter. Jaden Lyman will take it up the court to start off from the timeout. She goes to Denny. Denny, little roll pass to Swanek. Swanek pump fakes up and under, knocks it down. Nice move by Swanek, 4-2.
It was. She can post up. She can score inside. She's so athletic.
31-18, the Saints lead back up to 13. 4 minutes, 23 seconds left in the second quarter. With it is Crawford. She goes to the wing. Peoples takes the three. Off the rim, no good. Rare miss from three for Peoples, but it's rebounded by Christine Denny. Denny, up the court she goes. She kicks it out. Swanek pump fakes from three instead, takes it in. Jab step, pivot. She gets it out to Lyman. Saints will slow it down now as Danny Wagner goes to Salonen. Salonen on the near wing. Works her way to the middle of the floor. Now to Lyman. Lyman catches the pass. Foul called on Danny Wagner. Looks like they get her for a moving screen there.
Boy, I don't know about that. I
didn't see anything.
Maybe she posted up, but I sure didn't see much there.
After the foul, it's at 3:58 on the clock. 31-18, Carroll leads. Falatoy checks back in for Tech. Haley Crawford runs the point for the O'Diggers. She's guarded by Swanek as she makes her way up the court. And a carrying violation is called. So Saints will get the ball right back.
And you do not see that called ever. Nobody calls that. But they do it all the time. They palm the basketball, but nobody calls it. That time they did.
Jaden Lyman off the turnover, takes it up the court for the Saints. Lyman on the near wing. He goes to Wagner. Wagner works her way to the middle of the court. Back out to Lyman. Lyman now on the far side of the court. She comes off the screen from Denny. Back to Denny she goes. Denny with it now on the wing. Denny looks to drive, instead passes it out to Wagner. Wagner working her way to the top of the key. 8 on the shot clock for the Saints. It's Swanek now. Swanek, spin move. She drives, puts it off the glass, and it's
tough.
good. Sienna
That's
Swanek.
really good stuff.
Sienna Swanek demonstrating her phenomenal athleticism as she gives the Saints another bucket. 33-18 they lead, and Tech is back up the court quickly. With it is Crawford again, inside to Zard. Zard takes her dribble. Salonen comes in, gets the blocking foul called. Zard puts up the shot, knocks it down, count the basket. Zard will shoot one. Good effort by Salonen, but just there a little bit too late.
Yeah, you know, I think too, Daniel, that sometimes the girls are trying to take a charge and they go down before there's contact. You have to have that initiation of contact, then go down. I think that's what Taylor did there. She went down before there was contact, and the referees aren't going to give you that one.
Zard makes her free throw, so three-point play is complete for the Saints, for the O'Diggers. 33-21, the Saints lead. 3 minutes left in the second quarter. Jaden Lyman up the court. She goes to Denny, now to Swanek with it on the near side. Swanek back to the middle. It's Denny with it now on the elbow. She posts up with it, and it's no good. Rebounded by Toth. Toth gets it out to Swanek. Swanek will set up the offense and give it to Lyman. Lyman now over to Christine Denny. Back to Swanek. Swanek pump fakes, drives, puts it up off the glass, and it's good. Sienna Swanek with another bucket.
I mean, we have our second player on fire right now. It's Sienna.
35-21, 2:20 left as Swanek gets a couple buckets. Madsen heads back to the scorer's table. With it now up the court is Urick. Urick inside to Falatoy. Falatoy, spin move, puts it up, draws the foul. Falatoy will go to the line for 2.
And Carroll needs to front Falatoy down there. Falatoy is much improved since the last time I saw her. She's more fit, and she's a threat down the low post. And she's getting too many catches down there. Somebody's gonna have to front her. You let her catch it down there, she's gonna hurt you.
Rooney checks in, gives Crawford a break. And Emma Madsen checks in. Coming off the floor for the Saints is Christine Denny. Madsen looking to continue to get her form back. She's made her way back from that meniscus injury early in the season. Falatoy at the line. She puts it up. And it's good. So Falatoy sinks him. 2 minutes, 10 seconds left in the half.
Now Emma's playing the stretch 4 right now, which she hasn't done much, but she can play there.
Lyman takes it up, gets it to Madsen on the block. She goes out to Wagner. Wagner called for a travel. She laughs that one off. I think she thought she was fouled, but
She might have been.
nonetheless, a travel call. Besides that carrying call, the refs have done a pretty solid
Yeah.
job of letting these kids play tonight. Taking up the court is Peoples. She goes to Falatoy on the elbow. Falatoy backdoor pass. Urich over to Zard now. Now they get out to Peoples. Peoples pump fakes. Pull-up jumper from the elbow. Molly Peoples no good. Rebound Danny Wagner. Here comes Wagner up the court again. She sends it across to Madsen. Madsen jab step, drives in, picks it up, out to the corner to Lyman. Lyman pump fakes, drives. Out to Wagner now. Wagner on the wing. Step back, jumper from Wagner, no good, mid-range. Rebounded by the Orediggers. Zard pulls it down, gets it out to Urich, and it's a bucket for the Orediggers.
Molly Peoples,
of course.
she
Who else?
she likes that 3 ball.
Molly Peoples from deep, 35 to 26. It's back to a single-digit lead for the Saints, 35 to 26. Swanek, top of the key, she has it. She drives, puts it up, off the glass, no good. Swanek can't get it to fall. Rebounded by Zard. Zard gets it up the court. Peoples with another 3, off the rim, no good. Nice break there for the Saints as Swanek gets the rebound. Swanek up the court. She goes to Lyman. 40 seconds on the clock here in the second quarter. 20 on the shot clock. It's Lyman at the top of the key. Lyman looks to drive. Step back jumper. Got it! Jaden Lyman with the step back. Shot clock will be turned off now as the Saints take an 11-point lead. 37-26 with 23 seconds left on the clock. With it is Urich. Urich over to the middle. Falatoy backdoor pass. Mesa Williams out to Urich, out to Zard. Now to Urich again. Urich sets up the offense. 8 on the clock. She goes to Falatoy. Falatoy kicks it out. Molly Peoples for 3 at the horn. No good. Long rebound by the Saints. That will take us into the half. So your score after 2 quarters on the Capital Collision Center scoreboard. Carroll College 37, Montana Tech 26. When we come back, we'll have the Carroll College Halftime Show brought to you by Kevin Dunn and Terry White, financial advisors at Dunn Financial Solutions, as the Saints lead by 11 here on Rewind 94.9.
Did you get stats?
Back here on the halftime show, brought to you by Kevin Dunn and Terry White. It's Daniel Sally and the Hall of Famer Gary Turcotte coming to you from the Cochran Insurance broadcast booth. 37-26, the Saints lead on the Capital Collision Center scoreboard at the half. And looking at the stats right now from the field, Montana Tech shooting 34%, 9 of 26. Carroll shooting almost 50%, 48% to be exact, 16 of 33 from the field. From three-point land, Montana Tech 3 of 8, 37%. Carroll 4 of 9, 44.4%. And don't forget that those three-pointers are sponsored by Jolene Lloyd, Century 21. She'll be donating money for each of those three-pointers, half of it going to the Saints Athletic Association Scholarship Fund here at Carroll, and the other half to a local Helena charity. Right now it's Family Promise of Helena, so special thanks to Jolene. I saw her in the house tonight. She's supporting her Fighting Saints, of course, a Carroll basketball legend. As we look at some other stats from the free throw line, Saints only getting to the line twice, 1 of 2 from the line, and 5 of 7 is Montana Tech, shooting 71% from free throw. Looking at some individual numbers, leading the Ore Diggers scoring is Molly People. She's got 9 points, of course, those 3 3-pointers that we saw earlier. And for Carroll, Camden Hilborn leading with 8. Looking at rebounds, Zard with 6, Denny with 7, so a good first half from Christine Denny. Individual scoring, Molly Peoples, like I mentioned, leading with 9. Right behind her is Falatoy with 8. Zard's got 3, Urick's got 4, Rooney's got 2, and for the Saints, 7 points for Lyman and Christine Denny, 5 points from Danny Wagner, 2 from Maddie Garrett, and 6 from Sienna Swanek. So a strong effort as I bring Coach Turcotte back. Strong effort for the Saints to come out in this first half and walk in with an 11-point lead. But it was an 11-point lead they had at the half last week against Montana Western. So no lead is safe, and you still got to come out in the second half and take care of business.
Well, that's what's scary is that Carroll had the nice lead against Western and then came out and really went into a slump. And I'm sure that's got Coach Sayers' full attention. But Carroll came out and just played extremely well the first quarter tonight. Montana Tech, they had a tough time adjusting to Carroll's zone, and then Carroll would switch back to man-to-man, back and forth. And Montana Tech kind of got more comfortable. The second quarter played much better. The second quarter, in fact, very even, and they kind of got their offense going. So Molly Peoples got going. That Falatoy got going, and they have some weapons. The one that hasn't gotten going that has surprised me is Mesa Williams.
0 points in the first half.
Yeah, and Tavia Rooney is another one who's been a big factor for them. Neither one of those girls have been able to get going at all, and that's to Carroll's good fortune. And they're getting D'd up too, but Carroll's got to come back and run their offense, make good decisions, be disciplined. I thought they lost a little of that the second quarter that they had going for them the first quarter.
Well, it's 37-26 on the Capital Collision Center scoreboard. Carroll leads Montana Tech at halftime. You're listening to the halftime show halftime show brought to you by Kevin Dunn and Terry White, financial advisors at Dunn Financial Solutions. Halftime analysis and a look ahead at the second half when we come back here on Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com. Daniel Sally and Gary Turcotte here on the halftime show, brought to you by Kevin Dunn and Terry White, financial advisors at Dunn Financial Solutions. And Coach Turcotte, as we look ahead at the second half, what do the Saints need to do to be able to build on this 11-point lead and put everything together to come out with a win tonight?
Well, I thought the second quarter they didn't get the quality shots that they did the first quarter, either in transition or in their set offense. And that has been when they have gone into slumps. And they want to avoid that the second half. They've got to continue to get quality shots. And when they do that, they're very successful. And they run their offense and they set good screens. They get the ball to the people who can score in the right spots. So to me, that is the story of who they are as a basketball team. Carroll always plays good defense. They rebound well. They're pretty darn athletic. It's when they lose their discipline and quit trying to get good shots for one reason or another. That is, to me, the story of when they played poorly and when they played well.
And another testament to that defense. Tech's leading scorer, Mesa Williams, for anyone just tuning in, scoreless so far in the first half as the Saints lead on the Capital Collision Center 37-26. We'll get ready for the second half action that we'll have coming up for you next. It's the Saints lead by 11 here on Rewind 94.9 and online at kcap.com. Daniel Sal and Gary Turcotte here in the Cochran Insurance broadcast booth as we get ready for second half action between Carroll College and Montana Tech. The Saints lead the Oredigers 37-26. Inbounding the ball will be Montana Tech. They'll go right to left out of the break. It'll be Rooney joined by Zard, Falatoy, Williams, and the point guard, Danny Urich for Montana Tech. And looking at the Saints, they got Toth, Wagner, Denny, Hilborn, and Swanek to start out the half. With it is Williams. Williams at the top of the key. She works to the elbow, goes inside to Falatoy. Falatoy guarded by Denny. She puts up a little runner off the glass. No good. Rebound, Hilborn. Hilborn up the court she goes. Camden Hilborn guarded by Urich at the top of the key. Hilborn looking for Swanek. She finds her over there on the wing. Sienna Swanek now to Wagner. Wagner for three. Off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Rooney. Rooney gets it over to Urich. Urich will look over at Coach Carly Sannon, get the play call, make the call, and she'll draw it up as she pleases. She drives, puts it up off the glass, no good. Urich draws the foul though. Urich will go to the line to shoot two.
Well, Urich is not a natural point guard, but Tech did lose their point guard early in the year, and so she's had to play point guard. And she's a very good athlete, not a natural point guard, but very athletic, strong girl.
First free throw up is good from Urich. And yeah, Megan Delaney from Frenchtown.
Megan Delaney, I was
she
looking
ran
for
a
her
lot
name.
of point in that
Yeah.
first game,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're missing her out there tonight.
Yeah.
Second one up from Urich, and that one's good.
And she is going to have knee surgery Monday. She told me.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah.
I feel bad for her. You
Yeah.
never want to wish a knee injury upon anyone. As Camden Hilborn gets it up the court, she goes to Denny. Denny at the top of the key. Denny looks for Hilborn, finds her. Hilborn works her way to the top. She goes to Swanek now. Swanek over towards the wing. She goes to Wagner. Danny Wagner with it. Quick pass. Denny, long two. Off the glass, and the bank is open for Christine Denny. 39-28, Saints lead. Up the court quickly is Urich. Urich over to Rooney. Now Rooney at the top, guarded by Hilborn. She goes to Falatoy. Falatoy, backdoor. Mesa Williams underneath, and one for Kaylee Zard. Nice ball movement by Tech as Zard gets the shot up, draws the contact, and will go to the line as Toth gets called for her first.
And that's two quick fouls on Carroll to start the quarter.
39-30 as Zard will shoot one. Carroll basketball is brought to you in part by Overland Express Restaurant and Lounge, your all-American family-style restaurant serving the Helena community since 1975. Zard makes her first. Hilborn will take the ball for the Saints as their lead is cut down to 8 now. It's Swanek on the wing. Now to Hilborn. Hilborn at the top of the key. Off the screen she goes, hands it off to Denny. Denny into the middle, spin move off the glass, no good. Fouled though. Christine Denny will go to the line to shoot two. Good assertiveness there by Christine as she'll go to the line, and that's the second foul on Celestina Falatoy. Carroll basketball is brought to you in part by Eagle Tire and Auto Service, understanding customer needs yesterday, today, and every day across from Eagle Loop Express on North Montana, and Mattress Firm, Montana's largest Tempur-Pedic retailer, where it's easy to get a great night's sleep. Denny at the line. She puts up the free throw, and she knocks it down. So Christine Denny will knock down her free throws, give the Saints a 10-point lead as she hits them both. 8 minutes left in the third quarter. Falatoy up the court quickly, looks to hand it off, but it's stolen by Toth, and the Saints have it back. Here comes Hilborn down to the other end to Denny on the wing. Denny looks to drive, picks it up, gets it out to Hilborn, now to Wagner. Wagner passes it over to Christine Denny. She takes her dribble, drives, kicks to Swanek. Swanek on the wing. 10 on the shot clock for the Saints as Swanek puts it down on the ground. She kicks it out to Hilborn. 5 on the shot clock. Hilborn spin move into the key. Dump pass to Toth off the glass, and it's good.
Outstanding pass by Hilborn.
43-31 as Hilborn beats the shot clock with a little backdoor pass, and Toth knocks it down. Kaylee Zard with it now on the other end. She goes to the wing. Mesa Williams, who's still scoreless, swings it around. With it is Rooney now. Rooney picked up by Swanek. She goes it back over to Falatoy. Falatoy picked up by Toth. She kicks it back out looking for Williams. Hilborn knocks it loose. Williams with a runner at the end of the shot clock. No good. Rebounded by Urich. It's blocked by Toth. Urich gets it again. Gives it to Falatoy. Falatoy out to Williams. Williams takes her step out to the three-point line. Pass it over. Urich. 10 on the shot clock. Urich with it in the wing. Now Urich goes inside. Falatoy posts up. Back to Urich for three. Off the rim, no good. Rebound, Kaylee Zard. Another offensive board for Tech. Now Rooney with a jumper. That one's long. Rebounded by Denny, and the Saints get it back.
Boy, they had a lot of shots at it.
Camden Hilborn, 6.5 minutes left. She takes it up the court, goes outside to Denny. Denny, she drives, puts it up off the glass, and it's good. Christine Denny, she continues to ball out tonight. 45-31, and Denny now leading all scores with 11 points. Up the court, Ordiggers passed in, and it's stolen by the Saints. Swanek now with it up the court. She goes. She puts it up, and it's no good. Rebounded by Falatoy, tipped out of bounds. It'll be last touch by Toth. Some substitutions as Saints lead by 14, 45-31. Garrett's and Lyman will check in. Peoples and Crawford, who have been the go-to players off the bench for Coach Sannon, will check in for Montana Tech. 6 minutes, 5 seconds left in the third quarter. Saints lead 45-31. Crawford running point. She comes up the court quickly. She passed it over to the wing. Now it's Rooney with it at the top of the key. Rooney over to Crawford. Crawford now to Peoples. Peoples thinks about the three, pump fakes, drives, puts up a shot. It's blocked. Hilborn gets a hand on it. It's in the hands of Denny now. She walks it up the court. Denny posts up, kicks it out. Lyman now to Hilborn. Hilborn on the wing. Jaden Lyman draws the foul. She tries to set a pick, and Zard tries to get around her, knocks her to the ground. Saints get it back.
She didn't try very hard to get around her. She just ran over her.
No. Inbounding from the baseline is Jaden Lyman. 14-point Saints lead. 5.5 minutes left in the third. Lyman inbounds to Wagner. Wagner cuts baseline, kicks it out. Hilborn for three. Got it! Camden Hilborn from downtown, and it was only a matter of time before she got back on the board.
Nice pass, Danny Wagner. Yeah, very nice.
Timeout called by Coach Carly Sandin. It'll be a 30 extended to a media. So we'll step aside for 60 seconds. And with 5:24 left in the third quarter, the Saints lead 48-31. We'll be back in 60 here on Rewind 94.9.
Hi, Candy.
Back from the timeout, it's Daniel Sally and Gary Turcott here inside the PE Center in the Cochran Insurance broadcast booth. 48-31, the Saints lead with 5 minutes and 24 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Game one of this Frontier Conference doubleheader between Carroll and Montana Tech. Inbounding right in front of us is Haley Crawford out of the timeout. Gets it off to Urich, who will run point. Urich back to Crawford. Now back up to Urich. She goes inside to Zard. Zard posts up, kicks it out, swings it around to Peoples. Peoples on the wing. She gets it over to Crawford. 10 on the shot clock. Crawford goes to Zard. And something is called. Looks like a foul on Danny Wagner. No, offensive foul. That'll be on Haley Crawford. It's her second personal foul as the Saints get it back. 48-31. 5:08 remaining in the third quarter. Taylor Salonen to inbound. Salonen, Lyman, Garrett, Wagner, and McDermott, the 5 on the court for Coach Sayers. As Lyman takes it up, gets it over to the wing. Danny Wagner with it. She jab steps, pulls it back. Top of the key, she drives, kicks it out. Garrett, jab step. She thinks about the three. Had a good look, but instead passed it off to Lyman. 12 seconds left on the shot clock. Salonen with it on the wing now. Salonen to Wagner. Wagner drives off the glass, no good. Rebound by Rooney. Tech gets it back. 48-31, Saints lead by 17. Kick to the corner, three-pointer from Urich is no good. Garrett's lets it goes out of bounds, and the Saints will get it back. And another immediate timeout. So 4.5 minutes left. We'll step aside once again for 60 seconds. 48-31, the Saints lead here on Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com. Back from the timeout. Daniel Sally and Gary Turcotte here at the PE Center inside the Cochran Insurance broadcast booth. It's a 48-31 Carroll lead, and Coach Turcotte and I were just talking on the timeout. It was a 38-31 ball game just a couple minutes ago. Saints ripped off a quick 10-0 run, and all of a sudden they lead by 17, 48-31 with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the third. Jaden Lyman taking up the court. Saints looking for their first win in their last 3 games. They've also lost 3 of their last 4, looking to get on the right track before a tough road trip to LC on Friday. So they're here taking on their rivals in Montana Tech. Jaden Lyman on the wing. She goes over to Wagner. Wagner steps back, takes the 3. Offensive foul called, looks like on Garrett. And that's Maddie Garrett's third foul.
I watched the Bobcat Grizzly men's game, and I think they called 10 or 11 illegal screens in that ball game. That's a point of emphasis. The officials really like that call. And that time, Maddie didn't move much, but just enough.
4 minutes left on the clock. It's still a 48-31, 17-point Carroll lead. In the corner, trapped is Crawford. She sends it up top to Rooney. It's knocked loose. Picked up by Mesa Williams inside to Falatoy. Falatoy on Garrett. She puts up a little face-up jumper. No good. Rebounded by Lyman, and the Saints get it back. 3 minutes, 44 seconds left in the third. Here come the Saints. Danny Wagner on the far wing. Inside, Salonen posts up. Kicks it out, McDermott. McDermott from the wing. She goes to Wagner. Wagner goes to Salonen. Salonen puts it up. Off the glass, no good. Rebounded by nobody. It's a jump ball. Possession arrow will keep the ball with the Saints. 3:24 left in the third. Still a 17-point Carroll lead. Inbounding is Lyman. Checking out of the game is Rooney and Crawford. Lyman to inbound. She gets out to Wagner. Wagner on the wing. Wagner drives with it, kicks it out. Looks for Lyman.
Molly Peoples with a steal.
Yeah, stolen by Peoples. She gets it up to Lalu, who just checked into the game. Hope Lalu, a guard out of Tacoma, Washington, Wilson High School. She's just a freshman, getting some minutes here in this big game. Up with the court is Zard. Zard from the baseline. Jumper, no good. Another good look for Montana Tech. Doesn't fall. Wagner gets the rebound, gives it off to Lyman. And the Saints in a good position here as they lead by 17, 48-31 with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in the third quarter. Taylor Salonen backdoor. McDermott posts up, turn around, and one! Molly McDermott knocks it down and draws the contact. There's a reason they call her McBuckets, as she'll step to the line and look for a free throw. Foul called on Peoples, and McDermott will have a chance to make this a 20-point ball game. As she steps the line, Carroll basketball is brought to you in part by D.A. Davidson and Company, believing in hands-on investing in students and financial education each year since 1985, giving $50,000 to college and university investment teams for $1 million annual commitment. McDermott sinks the free throw, 51-31. It's a 20-point Carroll lead, their largest of the ball game. Christine Denny and Emerald Toth back into the game for Coach Sayers, as well as Camden Hilborn. It's Hope Lalu with it here on the near wing. She goes to Peoples. Peoples thinks about the 3, pulls it down, goes to Zard. Zard with it on the wing, guarded by McDermott. Now to Peoples. Molly Peoples puts it on the ground, kicks, three-pointer up, and that one is no good from Mesa Williams. Her shooting woes continue tonight as it's rebounded by Denny. Pass off to Lyman. Little over 2 minutes left here in the third. It's Christine Denny with it now. Denny on the elbow, gets it over to Lyman. Inside, over the top to Toth, off the glass, and good.
Oh, that's a tough call.
They call
on
a little
Toth.
offensive pass interference, a push-off on Emerald Toth.
That's a tough call. Toth
was
had
a
a nice
nice pass
post up.
over the
Yeah,
top.
a real nice high-low pass, and they called her for pushing off. And that you don't see that called a lot. No, she may well have done it. It's just
We
an
saw it on
unusual
George
call.
Kittle on Sunday in the Super Bowl.
We sure did.
Hope Lalu working up the court, running point. 51 to 31. It's still a 20-point lead after the foul on Toth. Now with it is Lalu. Excuse me. That was Falatoy. She goes to the elbow to Williams. Mesa Williams guarded tightly. Hilborn knocks it loose into the hands of Falatoy. Now to Williams. Williams picked up, and she puts it up off the glass. It's no good. Rebound Falatoy. They swing it around. Lalu has it. Sets up the point again for Montana Tech. Lalu off the dribble. She drives. What's the call here? Looks like a block on Lyman. No, Hilborn got in the way a little bit there. And that's the third foul on Hilborn, as there's only a minute and a half left in the third quarter, but something to keep in mind as we make our way into the fourth.
Yeah, she.
Free throw up and no good there by Lalu. She'll be shooting another. Lalu's second shot is no good. Zard knocks it out of bounds. Last touch by Tech. Carroll will keep it.
Interesting there, Daniel. We just haven't seen Zard rebound. I mean, I'm telling you, I've seen this girl get 10, 15 rebounds a game. She just hasn't been able to get to the boards like she normally does tonight.
Christine Denny gets the inbounds pass, and Zard can't rebound. Williams can't score, and that puts the Saints in a good position right now as they lead by 20 here in the end of the third quarter. We'll have to ask Coach Sayers after the game what their plan was with those two players. As Denny gets it on the wing, near side. She drives, puts it up, and it's good. Christine Denny gets
that's
the
really,
ball.
really nice touch there.
Christine Denny's game gets more and more polished the more she plays, as Hope Lalu up to the other end, running point now for Montana Tech. Lalu, guarded by Lyman. She tries to drive, looks for the entry pass off the foot of Christine Denny. A kick ball is called. Montana Tech will keep it with a fresh 20-second shot clock. 45 seconds on the game clock here in the third quarter.
Lalu's got some dribble moves. She's looking to really take it one-on-one.
Lalu inbounds. Urick with it now at the top of the key. Now with Lalu in the game, running point allows Urick to play off the ball. As it's Zard on the wing. She goes back to Lalu. Lalu sets up the play. No look pass to Zard in the corner. 8 on the shot clock. Zard posts up, puts one up, and it's no good. Rebounded by Toth. And with 26 seconds left in the third quarter, the Saints likely to play for last shot with a 22-point lead. 20 seconds down the clock. Christine Denny on the free throw line, out to Swanek. Swanek on the wing, back up to Denny. Saints taking their time. Looks like maybe a little ISO ball coming from Denny as she has it alone at the top of the key. 6 seconds left. Wagner comes to set a high screen. She does. 3 seconds left. Denny drives, kicks. Lyman for 3. And at the horn, it's no good. Jaden Lyman can't knock it down. And after 3, 53 to 31, the Saints lead by 22 on the Capital Collision Center scoreboard. Fourth quarter action coming up next here on Your Home for the Saints. Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com. Daniel Sally and Gary Turcotte here on Rewind 94.9, bringing you Carroll basketball as the Saints lead Montana Tech 53-31. We're coming to you live at the PE Center inside the Cochran Insurance broadcast booth. And Coach Turcotte, Mesa Williams still with 0 points through 3 quarters.
It's hard to believe this girl can score. And they tried to get Molly Peoples on a back door there.
As Tech gets it out of the timeout, they're working right to left across your dial. Tavia Rooney with it on the wing. Rooney drives to the hole, off the glass, no good. Rebound, Swanek. Swanek off to the races, wasting no time. She passed it up to Lyman. Lyman to the top of the key she goes. Lyman over to Swanek. Swanek to drive, plants that foot, kicks it out to Denny. Denny takes it in, gets it back out to Swanek, now to Wagner on the far wing. Danny Wagner, and a foul is called. They'll get Urick for that as she got tied up on Sienna Swanek. Swanek tried to come off an off-ball screen, and a little extra contact there. 53-31, 9:19 left in the fourth. Lyman inbound. Gets it out to Wagner. Wagner on the wing, now up top to Denny. Denny goes over to Swanek with it. Swanek works it around to Toth. Now Denny. Denny cuts back door off the glass, and it's good.
With the left hand, very nice.
55-31, it's a 24-point lead, largest of the game for the Saints. And now on the other end, it's a drive by Molly Peoples. Lyman tried to take the charge, but gets called for a block. 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. No shooting on that foul, as that's only the Saints' first team foul of the fourth quarter. But inbounding from the baseline is Crawford. Crawford to Zard. Zard from the free throw line, can't knock it down. It's knocked loose, out of bounds. Last touch by Christine Denny as she tried to save it, and a little collision between Denny and Danny Wagner.
It's getting a little bit chippy. Tech is frustrated, and they got some physical girls, and they're starting to knock Carroll around a little bit.
Falatoya making her way back to the scorer's table as she's getting ready to check in. It's Rooney with it, and she puts it up. No good. Rebound Wagner. Foul called on Montana Tech. I believe that'll be on Tavia Rooney. Nope, correction. That'll be on Kaylee Zard. Saw that one wrong.
Yeah, well, it could have been either one. They both were. They're frustrated, and they're going hard to the boards. Very hard.
Lyman will inbound it now.
And they're going to pick up full court now. See how Carroll handles the pressure.
Yeah, coming out in a full court press. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up leading to a timeout in the next couple minutes by Coach Sayers if she needs to put in a new press break. Lyman with it up the court, though, as Tech lined up in a full court man defense, but then segged it back. With it now on the far wing is Danny Wagner. Wagner off the screen from Denny. She goes to Lyman. Lyman with it. 10 on the shot clock now for the Saints. Lyman works into the middle. Picks up her dribble, kicks out Wagner. Looks inside for Denny. It's tipped by Zard. Loose ball stolen by Zard. Then Zard steps out of bounds. So the Saints will not only get the ball back, but they'll get themselves a fresh shot clock.
And there's a bad decision by Danny Wagner. That was a shot. She needed to take that. She can make that three. That's a catch and shoot. Shot clock's coming down.
Inbounding is Lyman. She gets it over the top to Wagner. Wagner, top of the key. Peoples, now to Lyman. Lyman to Denny. Denny long two, no good off the rim. 8 minutes left in the ballgame. It's a rebound by Crawford. Tech will take it up as they trail by 24. Crawford, nice little fake as she puts up a shot. No good, rebounded long by Sienna Swanek. Swanek will slow down now. Swanek up the court, running point for the Saints. She passes it off to Lyman. 7 minutes, 45 seconds left in the game. 15 on the shot clock. It's Danny Wagner. Wagner off to Swanek, now to Denny. Denny to Toth. Toth on the elbow with it now. She goes back door. Denny off the glass, no good. Gets her own rebound, puts it up again. Christine Denny for two more. How about it?
We were talking a little bit about Falastoy being tired. She looks tired right now. She played a lot of minutes that first half, and she might be out of gas.
Here's a drive from People. She puts up a floater.
Just
no
as
good
I say that, she
Falastoy.
goes and gets an offensive rebound.
Yeah, a little hustle play as the rebound goes long. Urick gets it, drives, puts up a shot. No good, but she'll be fouled. 2 shots coming for Urick, excuse me.
Falatoy was a real force the first half. She's got some skills.
Media timeout called on the floor, so we'll step aside as well. 7:13 left in the fourth quarter. Saints lead 57-31. Correction. No. Now there's some miscommunication as now they're going to say no timeout. Lowell got a little ahead of himself as Coach Sayers pointed out and said, well, he said it. So we'll stay here. Sorry to those who may be confused, but there's 7 minutes and 13 seconds left. The Saints lead 57-31, and right now, first free throw is up, and it is knocked down by Danny Urich. And don't forget, before she shoots her second, that Carroll basketball, brought to you by HCO Indoor Shooting Range and Gun Store, your state-of-the-art indoor shooting range offering 8 shooting lanes in a controlled atmosphere. Urich knocks him down. It's now 57-33, the Saints lead. And now it's a full court press. Lyman will inbound. Swanek gets the pass. She gets it across midcourt, goes to Wagner. Wagner slows it down now. Gets it up to Lyman, who will set up the offense. Jaden Lyman, middle of the court. She has it. Lyman to Swanek. Swanek looks to drive instead, passes it off to Lyman. Jaden Lyman drives, floater, blocked by Rooney. Foul called, though, and Lyman will go to the line for 2.
And that was a bad call.
Yeah.
That was a good block by Rooney.
I thought she got all ball.
She got all ball.
That size mismatch between,
Yeah.
Rooney's what? She's listed at 5'11", but she might be pushing 6 feet.
And she's long and athletic.
Yeah, probably a wingspan about 6'2".
Yeah, she's got a great future there at Tech.
And I know she was a hot commodity in the recruiting market in Montana coming out of Townsend. But Coach Carly Sandin got her. She was destined to play down in Butte, America. Lyman makes her first free throw. We'll go to shoot one more. And her second one is good. So Lyman makes them both. 59-33, the Saints lead. Back up to 26 points, game high for them. It's 6 minutes, 45 seconds left in the ball game. Up the court with it. It's Montana Tech. Peoples inside. They kick it out. 3-point up from Urich. It's no good. Another missed 3 from Tech. They're 3 of 11 now in the game. And Salona gets the rebound and gets it out to Lyman. Lyman up the court. Salona with it now. She passes off to Garretts. Now to Swanek. Swanek thinks about the 3 on the wing. Instead passes it to Wagner. Now to Lyman. Lyman working to the top. Inside pass. Garretts, from the block. Off the glass. No good from Maddie Garretts. It's brought down by Tech. Up the court, Montana Tech goes. Molly Peoples on the wing. Peoples to Rooney. Rooney drives. She looks to put it up, but she can't. Instead, she loses it. It's almost stolen by Sloan. Falatoy gets it. Inside pass. Mesa Williams puts it up.
Now
knocks it down.
That's a call there. He called a block, and the offense totally initiated the contact.
So Williams, who makes her first bucket of the game, will go to the line with a chance at a 3-point play. And like you said, initiated contact by the offense.
It could have been offensive charge. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he was thinking of. He's really a good ref, the guy that made that call.
Mesa Williams at the line, puts it up, and she misses. So ball don't lie, as I like to say. Rebounded there by Hilborn. 5:50 left in the fourth. Hilborn quickly up to the other end of the floor. Now to Lyman it goes. She finds Garretts. Maddie Garretts on the wing. Into Wagner outside. Back to Hilborn. Inside out. 3-pointer. No good from Hilborn. Rebounded by Rooney. Rooney saves it from going out of bounds.
That's just the athleticism of Rooney to get to that ball.
Gets it to Molly Peoples. Molly Peoples will get up the court now for Tech. She passed it over the wing. Here's the drive. Mesa Williams feeling confident. Misses the jumper. Rebound Falatoy, and putback is good. It's now back to a 59-37 game. Still over 20-point lead for the Saints. 5 minutes and 10 seconds left in the fourth. Lyman up the court with it. She goes out to Garretts. Garretts on the wing. Inside it's Salonen. Salonen looks to post up. Works her way back outside. She goes to Wagner. Wagner drives, kicks. Lyman inside. Looks to put it up. She does. Got it right before the shot clock. She beats it. Jaden Lyman gets the 2, and it's back to a 24-point Carroll lead. 4 minutes, 40 seconds left in the ball game. Urich up the court now. Urich, and she's fouled by Hilborn, and Camden Hilborn's going to have to probably go take a seat as that's her 4th personal foul.
Well, that time she just reached. She didn't move her feet. And the thing about her is she's got the best feet of anybody in the conference. She doesn't need to reach.
And now we'll actually have our media timeout. So we'll step aside for 60 seconds. Saints lead 61-37 here on Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com. Back from the timeout, it's Daniel Sally and Gary Turcotte here in the Cochran Insurance broadcast booth inside the PE Center on the campus of Carroll College as we bring you a Frontier Conference doubleheader between Carroll and Montana Tech. Right now in the women's game with 4.5 minutes left in the ballgame, the Saints lead is 61-37. Inbounding the ball out of the timeout is Montana Tech. Mesa Williams with it. She's guarded by Denny. She goes up, and a foul called on Denny. Mesa Williams will go to the line to shoot two. As Williams steps to the line, don't forget Carroll basketball is brought to you in part by Capital City Realty. When service matters, call on the home team. And A1 Rentals, they've got the equipment you need for every project on Cedar Street next to Party Plus. And Gold Island Casino, the luck starts here. Mesa Williams still struggling tonight. She's got 2 points, but another missed free throw for her as she looks to step to the
I just
line
can't
and hit
believe
another.
it. I mean, she is a great shooter.
Her second one is up, and that one's good. So Williams makes her first, and Carroll will get it back as it's a 61-38 ball game. Lyman up the court. Hilborn now to to Salonen. She gets it over to Denny. Denny in the middle of the floor goes to Hilborn. Hilborn off the dribble, works her way to the wing. Now gets it off to Lyman. Lyman to Wagner. Wagner off the screen. She pulls it back, kicks. Salonen, pump fake, drives over to the hoop, off the glass, no good from Salonen. Nice drive there by Taylor, but nothing to show for it as Zard gets the rebound, gets it over to Urich, and Urich will run the point now. Up the floor, it's a drive, and losing the ball is Crawford. She gets it back, then throws it. It's going towards midcourt, and Urich saves it from an over and back, but now there's only 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Zard looking for Williams. She passes it off. Williams drives, 3 on the shot clock. Looks for cutting Rooney. Rooney comes out with it and puts it off the glass for 2. 61-40, it's back to 21. Saints still lead. Christine Denny up the court, she goes. She picks up her dribble in the backcourt. She gets through traffic, gets it across court to Wagner. Wagner over to Hilborn in the corner now. Hilborn goes back to Lyman. Lyman will set up the offense now for the Saints. She's guarded by Crawford. Lyman over to Denny. Denny towards the middle of the court. She does a spin move, looks to put it up. Little caught there in traffic. She drags her foot, called for a travel, and Tech will get it back with 3 minutes left as the Saints still lead by 21. Inbounding is Rooney. She gets it over to Crawford. Crawford up the court quickly, she goes. Goes to the wing now. With it is Williams. She passes it off to Zard. They continue to swing it around. It's now Zard with it. Zard looks to drive baseline, picks up her dribble, and an offensive foul called on Zard. Zard tried to turn there and got a little elbow in the mix as she was spinning around. No malicious intent, but they'll call that one as the Saints will get it back with 2:43 left, and they lead 61-40.
And Tech, there's no quit in Tech. They put the press on. They're playing hard.
Lyman working her way towards midcourt. Against the press, she gets around it. Lyman across midcourt. She gets it over to Denny. 2.5 minutes left. Denny hands it off to Lyman, now to Swanek. A little weave by the Saints offense there on the far wing. Denny has it again. She's guarded by Urich. Denny puts it on the ground, gets it out to Lyman. Lyman decides to take it in. Out to Swanek, 4 on the shot clock. Swanek's going to make something happen. Pull-up jumper off the rim, no good. Rebound, Rooney.
Well, that's a pretty rebound by Rooney. I mean, she gets up.
And I think her and Swanek are two of the best athletes on the court right now.
There you go.
You can tell they got a little extra spring in their step when they jump. Here's a drive on the other end. Mesa Williams finding her form late in this game. She hits a little spin move off the glass, and she knocks it down for 2. Up the court, the Saints go, breaking the press again. It's Christine Denny across to Jaden Lyman. Lyman guarded by Crawford. Lyman, little crossover. She passed it over to the wing. With it is Wagner. And with a 19-point lead and a minute and a half left, it looks like the Saints are going to snap their 2-game losing streak as Genesis Wilkinson and Emma Matz make their way to the scorer's table. Lyman drives, jump stop, runner, no good. Rebound brought down by Crawford. And I'm sure we'll hear from Coach Sayers after the game about this one. She should be excited. Rooney takes it in. Ball's knocked loose by Swanek. Ends up in the hands of Zard. Zard looks to put it up. She is fouled. Kaylee Zard will go to line for 2. Garretts and McDermott will also come on down to the scorer's table. So in fresh 5, or excuse me, not a fresh 5, just 4, checking into the game for the Saints. Jen Wilkinson, Emma Madsen, Maddie Garretts, and Molly McDermott entering the game. And Wilkinson, a freshman, so we haven't seen too much of her yet, but she's going to be a good player.
Well, she's got a ton of talent.
Zard, first free throw is up and good. She knocks it down. Zard will have one more. She looks to put it up again, and she knocks it down. And Coach Turcotte, as Falatoy checks back in for Zard. Nice game tonight overall by the Saints.
Well, Carroll's played outstanding defense. They have really 44 points that they've given up at this point.
McDermott inbounds. Lyman will take it up, and he said 44 points. That's a good defensive showing tonight for Carroll. With it is Wilkinson now. Wilkinson drives, puts it up, and I thought she was going to get the and one there, but Jen Wilkinson will draw the foul and go to the line. And I think a very well-executed game plan, especially on defense by Coach Sayers and her team tonight. The way they denied the ball to Mesa Williams, that cannot be forgotten. Yeah,
and Mesa Williams, she's a 14 points a game type of girl. I mean, and she's capable of going off and getting in the mid-20s. And she just, tonight wasn't able to get a lot of catches and wasn't able to, get herself free, get the looks that she normally gets.
Wilkinson knocks down both the free throws. Back to a 19-point Carroll lead as we're under the 1-minute mark now. 63-44. With it is Montana Tech. They look to pass it baseline to Rooney, knocked out of bounds by the Saints, and it'll be last touched by Montana Tech, so the Saints will get it back with 46 seconds left. Tech still in that press. McDermott inbounds to Lyman. Lyman will get it across half court, no problem, as she slips behind the defense, and now the Saints will really slow it down. 23 on the shot clock, 39 on the game clock. Wilkinson, top of the key, she gets it out to Garretts. Garretts now to Lyman. Lyman looks to go over the top. Wilkinson brings it down, puts it up, no good. Tries to get her own rebound. Instead, Emma Madsen brings it down. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Saints got to hurry as they didn't get a new clock there. That didn't hit the rim. Lyman pull up from the elbow, no good. Rebound Rooney. 15 seconds left in this ball game as we'll get ready to close this thing out. Crawford takes it up the court, puts it on the ground, pulls it back. Elbow jumper off the rim, no good. Rebound Garretts. 4 seconds left, and the Saints will dribble this thing out. So for the first time in 3 games and for the second time in 5 games, the Carroll Lady Saints come out with a victory, 63-44, your final on the Capital Collision Center scoreboard. And when we come back, we'll go ahead and have the post-game show built by Builders First Source. We will be joined by the head coach of the Fighting Saints, Rochelle Sayers, to talk about her team's victory. And we'll go ahead and start to preview you to the second game of tonight's doubleheader between the Carroll and Tech men. 63-44, Saints win by 19. You're listening to it all here on your home for the Saints, Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com.